Good evening. Here we are. It's Tuesday night. We are ready for yet another fun, frolicking time. We are going to quilt along with Kathy. That's me. Oh, welcome, guys. How's everybody doing tonight? Pam is here from Maine. Hi, Pam. And Joyce from Fairfield, California. My friend Linda from Ravina, New York. Jean Brooks from Mount Vernon, Washington. And good evening, my friend Ronnie from Northeastern Arizona, my buddy Cactus Deb from Glendale, Arizona. And wow, we've got somebody new here from Central New York, JLY Missions Nurse One. Welcome, and I hope you enjoy your evening here with us. And Connie is here from Texas. Tonight, we're going to do two different spinning wheels. Now, next week is our last spinning wheel, and you're going to recognize the spinning wheel we're going to do next week because of one of them came in your sampler starter set. Okay, so yes, we are going to do spinning circles on quilt spinning wheel 36 next week. We're going to show you how to do quite a few things with that one. But today we are going to use Circles on Quilts spinning wheel number 35. And this is how it's going to look if we do 16 rotations on it, which we will. And here's Circles on Quilts spinning wheel number 34. I love this one. But I also wanted to see what it would look like with 16 rotations as opposed to 8 rotations. This picture is only 8, so we're gonna try it both ways tonight, okay? And Carla's here, Jan is here, Charlene is here. Hi, Charlene is here from Colorado, Jan from a windy southeast. Southeast Northeast crosswind tonight. Oh, not good. Oh, that's always kind of a scary one, isn't it? And then we have Carla. Evening meal finished, dishes washed in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. I hope you had something really good, Carla. Oh, yes, Deb. Cactus Deb has a new kitten, and the new kitten is absolutely adorable. She really is, and she likes to play in the middle of the night, right, Deb? Okay, now one thing I did not do on this guy is, and I just thought of it, it might make sense, it might not, because this is a 16 reference line rotation, we may not want to try and do it in both directions. However, it's always good to try in both directions, right? Now, this is one of those that we're going to have to go around it 3 times to get the entire design in. So let's go ahead and get started with this fellow. Now this is an 11.5 inch template. I only have staple tape on one side because I didn't think I would be flipping it over. But I do have an extra practice square, so we just might have to try this. So it looks like a mitten, kind of. Okay, if it was a little wider, it would look like the Lower Peninsula of Michigan, actually. And we are only going to stitch from here to here, and then we are going to twist our template. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started on this. Okay, I gotta get my I've got so many wires going on here tonight because I actually have set up 2 cameras just in case I don't want another replay of last time when we had a camera failure. Yeah, that wasn't good, was it, guys? But we persevered. Okay, set my foot. There we go. And we're going to take that 1 or 2 stitches in place. There we go. And we're going to take off nice and easy. Now this is one of those easier templates. I am going to keep my stitches just a little bit shorter on them. I'm going to stop with my needle down so that I can get rid of that extra thread back here. Want to just double check where I'm at as far as what you guys are being able to see here. Okay. Okay. Linda, you are right. Linda said, "Am I the only one who is seeing numbers after everyone's name? Been the last couple of weeks. Not sure if it's a new YouTube thing." You know what? That's absolutely correct. I never noticed it before, Linda. Very observant. But yes, everybody has numbers after their name. I have no idea what that's about. I don't know. I don't know if it's something we can easily find out either. Okay, so back at it. And we're going to, this is kind of, it reminds me of the Jimmy Neutron's hair. Okay. It's got that little kind of dip up in the top. We're just going to make 1 hesitation stitch there. Now we're going to come around and I'm going to turn this so it's easier for you all to see. When we get to here, this is a really rather sharp curve. And what we don't want to do is we don't want to fall off of that cliff. So what we're going to do is we are going to slow down, take our time, hug that template, not push against it, and come around and stop at the bottom. Now, what's going to happen when we do this? I'm just going to turn this way because remember, I've got a really short throat here. It's only 7.5 inches. And this is an 11.5 inch template, so it's quite large. Okay, stop with my needle down. Now, what we're going to do, I'm going to pull us up a little bit so just so we can see all these lines just a little bit better. Okay, there we go. So we are going to skip line number 2. We are going to skip line number 3, and we are going to stop at line number 4. Now, when we do that, I want you to notice what happens here. When we go to line number 2, we still are not at this area that we need to be. So we go to line number 3. Nope, still not there. But when we get to line number 4, we are positioned just right. Hi, Lisa. So good to see you. Better late than never. You've got that right. Awesome. Okay, so here we go. This is on line number 4, but it's only our second rotation. And you'll notice that we've been doing quite a few of these with the circles on quilts. They do work this way. And it's okay. It works. As long as it works, that's all we care about, right? came off a little bit there. Not to worry. Going to go ahead and turn it again. I want you to see it. And we're going to come down and around and slow down here. Hug that template, not pushing against it. And there we go. And I'm going to come in this direction this time. The reason that I do all this turning is so that you have a really good idea of how things look. And needle down. Again, we're going to skip 1, 2, and stop on the 3rd line. So here we go. And if it isn't just right, you can always take that one little bit of a stitch backwards. And for this one, it was probably less than a quarter of a stitch. I probably didn't even need to do it. Okay, let's keep going around. Here's our hesitation area here. That gives a pretty good point there. So we definitely want to hesitate around there. And we're going to stop here. And I'm going to come around. Again, slowing down and hugging that template. Now, can we just go around every 3rd line and stop at that? We could. But what's going to happen if we do that is that the rotations aren't going to close right here. Okay? 1, 2, and 3. So we want them to close because that is going to make our design look complete. And here we go. Again. Nice and easy. Oh, I looked up. I want to make sure we're on time. And when I look up, we all know what happens. I come off the template every time. So when I'm working on a project, I am laser focused. Okay. I am really paying attention to what I'm doing. I really don't talk to anybody when I'm doing that. 2, 3. And I try to not have the TV playing. I'll turn the volume off sometimes if I have it playing. And I try to stay very focused on it. And for me, that's not a problem because I enjoy doing this so much. Okay, now I'm going to come at this from a little different angle this time. Each time I move my angle around, it's going to feel different. So I'm going to slow way down as I go around it. Okay, and there we go. I did just fine. But again, it was a different angle, so I want to test the waters before I go at it full speed ahead. And stop right here with my needle down. Okay, there we go. All right, now remember I said that the 2 would not meet? What you're gonna see here is there's a space between where our needle is and where the first rotation began, and that's what I meant by they would not close the design. Those 2 don't meet. So we've gotta go around 2 more times. So here's my last rotation, 1, 2, 3, and now we're gonna come to the right of each of our previous rotations that we stitched out. I'm going to just put my needle down and show you again where this design does not close. Okay, and we want that design to close because that's part of the design. Okay, I'm also going to check. Okay. Oh, Suzanne is here. Hi. Now, Suzanne does not have numbers after her name, and neither does Carla. Isn't that interesting? Suzanne, we were just noticing how most everybody has a number behind their name, but you don't. So that's really interesting. We're going to have to find out why that is. See what I can find out tonight and let you know tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, we've got some really cool things going to be showing you. I'm going to be doing the simple hexagons, which we're going to find out are not all that simple. Easy to do? Yes. Simple designs, we can get very, very complicated with them. We can get very unique with them. And I love the hexagons. I really do. I think they're versatile. We could do edge to edge. We can do borders. We can do clamshells. We can actually do clamshells with hexagons. Isn't that cool? Okay, down we go. And again, 1, 2, and we're going to stop at 3. And we are back at our beginning. And round we go for another rotation. I love the center of this, how it comes together. It's going to be kind of a lot of little pointed areas, but they're going to look so much like little soldiers in a row. Again, little different perspective there. Going to just double check, take my time, hug that template. Now I do keep my stitches a little bit shorter on this template because we have a lot of curves. And the reason that we keep our stitches a little shorter on curves is because it will make the curves appear to be smoother. If we put long stitches in, they will look kind of jagged, kind of like we rushed through it when we shouldn't have. We should have taken our time. So, does it happen that sometimes I get going? I'm not going to say at the speed of light because I don't do anything at the speed of light. Okay, guys. But sometimes I get going a little fast and my stitch length gets a little long. And I find that 9 times out of 10 with the designs I do, I will go ahead and I will pick that out and do that little area over again. I like everything to look nice and smooth. 1, 2, 3. See how easily this comes together? And here we go. We're almost to that last set of rotations where we're going to finish up the 16. Now let's go at it at this clip from this direction this time. Why do I practice these different directions? That's a good question. The reason being is if I have a large quilt, unlike this rather small quilt square practice sandwich, I'm not going to be turning my quilt with each rotation. So what I want to do is I want to ensure that I can stitch this template, this design in any direction that I'm forced to when I cannot turn my quilt sandwich or my quilt around. And why is this a good thing to practice? Well, it's a good thing to practice because it's going to happen eventually. We can't just stitch on practice sandwiches forever, right? Although the quilt as you go quilts really are very nice for ruler work, there's going to become a time when you're going to want to do a full quilt top, whether it be a baby quilt, a lap quilt, or even a queen size quilt, which I have done. I did a queen size quilt on my little 301 with the 7.5-inch throat. So if I can do that, you guys can do it on one of these new machines that have these awesome 11, 12, 13, 14-inch throats on them. Deb's got an M17, and I think your throat on there is 7 or 14 inches, right, Deb? Um, Let me know if I'm wrong, but I think that's what it is. Um, Hi, Di. Yeah, you're right. You're not usually here in the evening. I usually see you on Wednesday morning. Oh, wonderful to see you. Marine's here from Kansas. And yep, Deb says, yep, it is a 14-inch throat on hers. And Joyce has the M7. So she's got that really beautiful deep throat on her machine also. Okay, had to wet my whistle there. All right, guys, we are on the last rotation or the last round of rotations. And I'm just thinking this is awesome. So what I'm going to do, because we do have time to play a little bit, and we all know I love to play, I am going to try and put some rotations with the template pointed in the other direction. Okay, just so that we can see how it looks meshing the two of them together. Sometimes it's a raging success. Other times it's a dismal failure. But you know what? We don't know until we try it. That's what's really cool about it. We want to try it and see what we come up with. Granted, normally I try these things on paper with pencils and my stitching line discs before I bring it to the fabric. But it's okay sometimes if we're working on the fabric and get what I call scathingly brilliant idea and have to try it right now. We can't wait. So that's what we're going to do here. And around we go. I'm going to stop and turn until we get right where we need to be to start our next rotation. I'm gonna just move it over like this. You see how those beautiful points in the center are coming along. Now, what will happen when we flip this template is they're going to be pointing in the other direction. So I'm anxious to see how that looks. And we're not going to do the whole 16 rotations. We're just going to do a few. I think I can figure out how we can do some. Ooh, careful. This is why we should only stitch when our hands are on our templates. Okay. Make sure your needle is down. Always engage that needle up, needle down function whenever you can. Okay, around we're gonna go. Now, if you find that you've got kind of a jerking motion going on, the chances are real good what causes that is your slider needs to be polished. Okay? I've noticed that happens to me on occasion if I forget to polish it every morning. And that's how often actually that I like to polish it every day. Where we live, there's a lot of artificial heat. It dries everything out. Our skin, our gliders, I mean, it dries everything out. So I also, believe it or not, I guys, I oil this machine every morning. It doesn't take a lot of oil, but it's just good practice. The other thing I like to do is change my needle often. They tell us no more than 8 hours, unless, of course, you hit a pin or something like that. Then you're going to have to change it sooner. Okay, and this is our last one. All right, here we go. There goes the top of Jimmy Neutron's hair. It's easy to tell that I have a younger had a younger child at home. He's not at home anymore. He's grown and graduated from college and off making his way in the world. Okay, and that's Casey because our neighbors right now are hauling out appliances from their home and it's very loud. The guys don't know what is going on here. They just hear loud noises that they don't like. All right, here we go. Beautiful design. Hi, Dee Dee. Nice to see you. Oh, Bernice, I love this template too. I really do. Now we're going to see if we can do some extra things with it, though. Okay. And I'm just going to give a quick instruction to my Casey here. Casey, no, stop. Enough. See if he listens to me. That's always the test. Is he going to listen? Okay. Whoops. That's just the way I just had it. So I want to flip it over. We're going to go ahead and slip it on. Okay. And I need to put this guy back in this direction. Love needle channels. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to put this on here. Okay, so making progress here, guys. Making progress. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I am going to come around. I'm going to line up my center line again. Casey, enough. Or let's get that thread out of the way. What I did not do is I did not move I did not move anything. Excuse me just a second. You guys don't need to be hearing that. Okay, I am back. It appears that FedEx is outside. That always gets them going. FedEx brings treats for them. I think that's so sweet. Okay. Dee Dee, Ken is not here, and I just shushed the dogs out here. Oh, goodness. Yeah. Di has a 9450 with a nice wide throat as well. You gotta love those big throated machines, don't you? Okay, so you can't see what I'm showing you here. We're going to go ahead and line this up again. This is one of the problems with the big templates is I can't get it all in there at the same time. So here we go. And we're going to stitch it in the opposite direction. We have the same we want to we have the same now I don't have stable tape on here, guys. That's one of the reasons that it's kind of flailing around here. We want to make sure that we don't get off of our template. And we're going to stop right here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and turn this around, lift it up. Oops, I've got to do that. I'm going to go ahead and pull my thread up. I'm going to try and pull my thread up. There we go. I'm going to rotate my template and I'm going to put it back down. And there we go. I will trim that thread later. And you know what, guys? I'm thinking this is way too much. Would I do this? No. But I'm glad that we tried it. Definitely glad that I tried it because now I don't have to think about it again. Right now, to me, what this looks like when it's double stitched like this, and I'm not going to go any further, it looks like a mess. Okay, you see, it just looks messy. It doesn't look like a pretty design. My vote, stick with the original. Okay, tell me what you guys think. Like I said, am I glad we tried it? Oh, yeah, I'm glad we tried it. Do I like it? Not really. Too busy, too busy. Now, this one, we've got some opportunities here, Template opportunities. I've been itching to do another Template class lately. Goodness, I'm hoping we can get to that soon. So this is our Circles on Quilts Spinning Wheel 35, 11 and a half inch design. What these designs are really, really great for is oh, Carla, you don't ever hear my dogs? Carla says she never hears my dogs on her line, on her end. I'm glad to hear that because these headphones are supposed to filter out extraneous noise. So I guess they're working. Oh, Deb says original is better. Absolutely, Deb. Yep. Linda says One Direction is better. Suzanne likes One Direction as well. Carla says, yep, stick to the original, way too much. So I'm glad we tried it though. I really am. And I'm glad you all feel the same way I do, because I certainly don't want to insult anybody. Okay. So, yeah, like I said, I've been really antsy to do a um a template class. It's been a while. It has been a minute, definitely. Okay, so here we have 16 rotations on our second quilt sandwich that we're going to look at. Even though this design is shows us 8 rotations, I did try this at 16 rotations on paper, so I am really anxious to show it to you guys. This is another 11.5-inch design. Again, we're going to use a tack. I think every one of these circles on quilts goes around a tack. That's all there is to it. But it also has these gorgeous etched lines to follow. These etched lines are going to line us up with our next and previous reference lines. Okay, here's what it's going to look like right down here, and that's if we use 8 rotations. So if we use 16, definitely going to be a little different. Definitely. Okay, here we go. Now we're going to put our tack in the center. I think I talked about this last night when we put our tack in, putting it in from the right side first. And this does not create a hole, guys. It really doesn't. It pushes the fibers to the side. And when you're done, I just bring my hand back over there. I give it just a quick brush with my fingernail, and the fibers are right back where they belong. It's that easy, and it works that well. And I just lost my tack. Oh, sometimes I am such a klutz. Yeah, I always say, look it up in the dictionary. You'll see my name under the word klutz. There we go. My brother used to tell me I was the only one he knew that could trip on air. Oh, now we know that this template is a lot newer because it's got a needle channel in it. Okay, here we go. Love the shape. This reminds me of the spinning or spin effects number 4, doesn't it? What we're going to do is we're going to start here, come all the way around, and end here. Okay, we're going to do this on 8 reference lines to start with. And pull our bobbin thread up, I think. There we go. And Jan, I did check the bobbin thread before we started. Should have more than enough to get us through tonight. Not playing bobbin roulette tonight. Okay. Take that one stitch in place. Now, some educators take 4 little micro stitches here, and others tend to go ahead and start the design and then bury threads. Quite honestly, my philosophy on that, 6 of one, half dozen of the other. So what do? Whatever I feel like at the time. I'm not consistent at all. I guess I am consistent. I'm consistently inconsistent. Oh, I don't know. It's just it depends. Some days it doesn't bother me to bury threads. It really doesn't. But some days it's like I don't want to take the time. So I don't. When I'm doing practice sandwiches, I never bury threads. To me, that is just kind of a waste of time if I'm just practicing and it's on a piece of a quilt sandwich that isn't going to be kept or used in anything. And, there's a lot of different ways that we can use and reuse quilt sandwiches. Honestly, I tend to not reuse them. I just do what I need to do on them. I usually use fabric that I bought and went, what was I thinking afterwards, right? Why did I buy that fabric? I'm never going to use it in anything. Oh, I know. Quilt sandwich, practice sandwich. So that is what I use is fabric that I would never use otherwise. The other thing that I like to tell my students is if you are going to practice, I would find a very modeled or plain color fabric. I wouldn't use a real busy print because you're not going to notice your stitches on them. The other thing that I would do is I would use a high contrast thread. Now, some people say, oh, that's going to show everything I do wrong. Yep, it is. And that's exactly what you want when you're practicing. So you can look at it and go, well, here's an opportunity for improving, and you can work on that. And then when you get it right, you can move on to that next opportunity for improving if there is one. And if there isn't, right on to your quilts. There you go. You're already a pro. I also find some templates are easier for me than others. And that's not a surprise. Now, this particular template here, I would say is great for a beginner template or a template quilter because everything is inside. It's nice and easy. It's going to give you that inside curve. Remind yourself to take that one hesitation stitch up on the top. And my goodness, it's going to be gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And it also, like I said, you can do 8 or you can do 16. And we're going to show you just how that's going to look as soon as I turn this around. I don't turn around quilts. I don't even really turn around quilt as you go blocks as much as I turn around these quilt practice sandwiches for you. I do that because I really want you to see what I'm stitching and how it's going. I'm just going to try and speed my stitching up here a little bit. Whoops. I went the wrong way, didn't I? Okay. Hesitation stitch up on the top. Get ourselves that really sharp point. Isn't it beautiful? Come on. There we go. Nice and smooth. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to rotate it again. We have so many templates and so many opportunities. The other thing that I really encourage my students to do is use different templates together. For example, on this one, you've got quite a sizable center on it. So you can actually put a small spinifex in there or mini spinifex in there, or you could put a circle in there, put a simple circle and do cross hatching in it. There's, you could do straight cross hatching or you can do curved cross hatching. You can also do, take your small circles and go ahead and run a string of circles around the inside of the circle in the center. There's all kinds of different ideas. And one of the things that I do when I have a project and I'm trying to decide how I'm going to quilt it, I let the quilt speak to me. Um, if there are areas that I think need more quilting, I'll go ahead and quilt them a little heavier. If there are areas that need less, for example, I'm working on a QuiltWorks right now, finishing it up. I'm quilting it, and the parts of it that I am just finishing, I'm not doing all the pieces at once. I'm doing them in sections. And the first section that I've opted to quilt, really, they're diamonds. And they really call to me to have something quite straight in there. So I do. I have very straight. I used my 12-inch arc to do some echoing, and then I used my diamond snowflakes, and it turned out really, really pretty. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and take this out, and I do need to break thread before I start the second half of this. And this is how 8 rotations looks. Isn't that pretty? It's just, this to me is the quintessential design for a modern quilt. It's clean. It's it's not it's not too geometric, but it has those geometric elements in it that I think really helps. So now that we've seen it with 8 rotation lines, I'll pull it up a little bit here for you. Let's see what happens when we put a second 8 rotations in here, okay? Now you do need to, oh, and look at this, I pulled some thread out, no big deal, it's a practice sandwich. You do need to break thread because what we've got here is, you see, this is completed. There is no circle here. And this is what I was talking about. You could come in and join those circles, use artisan curves or artisan circles. They really would work well. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go on those other 8 lines, 8 reference lines. We go. Pull my bobbin thread up. And let's go ahead and get started. I will tell you that compared to the other one, this one done with 16 rotations is much better. Much, much better. Okay, here we go. Remember, keep those stitches a little smaller when we're doing curves. Hesitation stitch when we're doing a point. And one of the things that really I love about this is secondary designs. I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about secondary designs. I love secondary designs, and I love to see what's going to happen. And again, this one is the perfect template design going in with 16 rotations. Needle down. We're going to go around here. Also, tomorrow afternoon, I am going to be doing the quarter four block E, I believe it is. And that is pre-recorded, but I will be watching it with you so that if you have any questions, we can answer them for you. Don't like to keep you, just leave you hanging, okay? If I can be here whenever I do my pre-recordeds, I will. I make a point of it. Because the question you're going to have is going to happen while you're watching it, not a week later. Okay, here we go. Are you starting to see the design yet? Oh, Jan, I was wrong. I just ran out of bobbin thread. I thought for sure I had enough. Okay, we're going to keep that right there. And we're going to just plop another one in. I keep several of them that are wound with colors I'm not using currently. And this is the old-fashioned bobbin that goes in. Yes, if you have featherweights, 301s, remember these machines take a little bit more TLC and maybe a little more maintenance, but they are so worth it. I love my 301. Oh, wait, have I said that before? Maybe once or 100 times, right? Okay, there we go. We're going to go ahead, line that up again. Pull that bobbin thread up. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, guess what? I am human. I make mistakes. I think I've got enough bobbin thread when I don't. And the reason I tell Jan is because she always asked before I started class, did you put a fresh bobbin in your machine? Without fail, she asked me that. So I like to keep her informed whether I have a new bobbin or if I'm playing bobbin roulette. I don't know who coined that phrase, but I absolutely love it. I think it's so cool. Oh, let me see if we have. Okay, Linda said this is an easy one to do. And Cactus Deb said she likes this one better. Do you like it better on the 8 point or on the 16 point, Deb? I think you're going to like it both ways. Because when we do this, it offers us different opportunities. Now, if we wanted to get our ink tent pencils out, we could have fun going from a real deep, dark color, blue, for example, and come out with a lighter and lighter and lighter blue till we get out to this outside area right here. And I think that would be very pretty. I'm all about pretty, I guess. I'm not fancy, but I like pretty. I don't know if that makes any sense. Hope so. And here we go. And this will be our last rotation. And then we're going to get to see how this design or how this template works with a 16 point design on it. There we go. And I'm just going to put an extra couple stitches in there so I don't pull out that thread again like I did earlier. Okay, here we've got the 16. I'm going to pull that up again, up higher, so you all get to see that. What do you think of this one? Deb says actually both. And Linda says, I really like this one. I know, it's kind of fun, isn't it? And again, what I love about these circles on quilts, I know, Linda, it would have been perfect on the quilt she just finished. If you guys have not seen Linda's latest quilt, please go to Westerly by me. It is a crossword quilt, I think is what they call them. She took family names and made like a Scrabble out of them. I mean, it is to die for. It is absolutely gorgeous. But Linda does very beautiful work with everything she does. Oh, Joyce. Joyce says a big sunflower. And that's where I'm talking about putting the circle in and using cross hatching in here. It would just enhance that sunflower exponentially, definitely. Deb says very pretty. I like it. Ronnie, I love this one. Yeah, and it's so easy to do. So very easy. Ah, Jean likes this one too. Oh, you're welcome, Linda, but it's just true. Linda also makes purses and she does beautiful purses. Absolutely. I just tried to do one. Okay, it's acceptable. It passes barely. But I'm going to go ahead and use it for a while till I find something better. Maureen says she sees a beautiful sunflower in there as well. Guys, we can make so many different things. It would be kind of fun to do a flower quilt with our different circles on quilts, spinning wheels, and color them in or do template on them. I think that would be a very pretty quilt. Nice summertime or spring project when we're waiting for our own flowers to come out. So these are the two. Like I said, I think after 36 we are done. Let me take a quick look here. Um, Yes. Yep. These are the last two before Circles on Quilts Spinning Wheel 36. So I know you guys are gonna be so disappointed to have these over with, right? It feels like we've been doing it for 2 months, okay? But I don't mind because they're gorgeous and they leave us so many beautiful opportunities. Oh, Cactus Deb, you are so welcome. I want to thank you all for inviting me to spend a little time with you this evening. I know I enjoy it. I hope you do. I'm not sure anybody can enjoy it as much as I do, but hopefully it's close, right? Don't forget, like, subscribe, and share. Tomorrow morning, we will be here with hexagons. Tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock Central, which is 4 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock Mountain, 1 o'clock Pacific. I will be here with the quarter four box panel E, and I will be lurking. So please don't hesitate to ask questions. And till we meet again, hopefully it's tomorrow morning, let's quilt.